This is Gary Smith of Ratty Smith Funeral Home. We're honored to be sponsoring the Veteran of the Month project here on WYEA 106.5. All military veterans deserve our deepest respect, recognition, and admiration for the decision they made to serve, defend, and protect our country. It's an honor to be a part of sharing some of their stories.
Our Veteran of the Month for December is Huey Dennis. Mr. Dennis served 3 separate times in the United States Marine Corps and deployed to Southeast Asia for 2 tours. Mr. Dennis worked on several different aircraft engines as a mechanic during his different enlistments in the Marine Corps before finally leaving the Marines for good in 1979. He tells us more in his own words.
Huey G. Dennis, United States Marine Corps. I joined the Marine Reserve in Birmingham when I was 17 years old. I think it was 1951, they was activating different units and sending them to Korea. I didn't get in on that, I missed it. But I went on active duty after that. I was stationed at Cherry Point, North Carolina for a year. The initial job was aircraft engine mechanic on the old reciprocating engines. And I flew as a crew chief on the Marine Corps called it R4Q. I flew as a crew chief on that for a couple of years. I got out of the Marine Corps after that tour. I stayed out, I think it was about 6 years. I was in the reserves. And then in 1972, I was working at Avondale, and they closed down the department I worked in. So I went back in the Marine Corps. They handed me a bus ticket at Cherry Point, North Carolina. I was working on reciprocating engines at that time and flying crew chief. But they had changed aircraft, but it's still a reciprocating engine. It's the old Corsair F4U gull wing. I love those airplanes. But anyway, he handed me a bus ticket, and I said, I'm not taking the bus. I said, we got 2 cars. My wife's a nurse. I had bought 2 cars out of a junkyard and fixed them up where they run. He said, I don't care how you get there, but said you got 36 hours to report in. So I said, let me use your phone. I called my wife. I said, get all my military clothes, pack them in a bag. I'm coming home, be leaving right after I get there. 26 months total in Southeast Asia. The first time I was at Da Nang, South Vietnam. I was in Japan. I was in the 1st Marine Fighter Squadron that went into Vietnam. They had ground Marines there. It's 64, 65. They had ground Marines there that they had come in off of the Navy carriers. They did hit the base while I was there. The first time they caught them coming through the concertina. They'd throw mats over the concertina wire and come right on over it. So that attack failed. But then a couple of weeks later, they did get on the base, and we had F-4B fighters. Wings folded, you couldn't walk between them, loaded with bombs and rockets. And we had a fuel dump out there where they fueled the airplanes. Had an ammunition dump, had a oxygen generator plant making liquid oxygen. If they'd have known what they was doing when they got on base, they could have wiped out that whole base just by blowing up one airplane. But they didn't know that the Air Force had some big planes, transport planes down to the other end of the runway. And they thought the bigger the better. That's what they hit, was the Air Force planes. So they blew up a couple of Air Force planes, but they didn't do a whole lot of damage. We got everything put out. All of them was killed and captured. The second time, or when I went back in, I went in 1972. I retired in 1979. Stay out of trouble and take all the training you can get. Try to be safe.
Congratulations to Huey Dennis, our Veteran of the Month for December.
We'd also like to thank American Legion Post 45 for helping with the selection process. This is Gary Smith of Ratty Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga.